This recipe SO class represents a complete recipe that includes required ingredients and its display name. It's used for delivery validation and UI display. In the class, we have a list of kitchen object scriptable objects and the string recipe name. This recipe list SO class, it's basically like it's a scriptable object class. It's like a container that holds a list of possible recipes, and it's used by the delivery manager class to randomly select recipes. This frying recipe SO class, it defines frying transformations. For example, being the uncooked patty transforming into a cooked patty. Right here we have the input being the uncooked patty, the output being the cooked patty, and the duration required for the uncooked patty to become the cooked patty. This cutting recipe SO class, it stores input and output right here, and it has a cutting progress max, which I'll explain right now. The input, it could be like the prefab being a tomato, the output being tomato slices, and the cutting progress max, it's an int number of the player's choosing in the editor. It could be 1, 2, or 5. That's the amount of cutting required for the transformation to happen from the tomatoes turning into tomato slices. This burning recipe SO class, this class defines how a cooked item, a cooked meat patty, transforms into a burned cooked meat patty. Similar to the other classes, we have input being the cooked meat patty, output being burned, and the required time for the cooked meat patty to become a burned meat patty. This delivery manager single UI class, this class handles a representation of a recipe in the UI by setting the recipe name and spawning the ingredient icons. It removes previous icons from the previous recipes, and it rebuilds the list whenever a new recipe or recipe SO is assigned. This delivery manager UI class manages the list of active recipes that is shown, and I believe it uses to the events that are in delivery manager, and it rebuilds UI whenever new recipes are, when recipes are either spawned or completed. This plate icon single UI class represents a icon, an ingredient icon on a plate, and it assigns the correct sprite based on a kitchen object SO. This plate icon UI class, it displays all ingredients that are currently on a plate, and if any other ingredients are added, the list is going to be added with a new icon. What I'm trying to say is that in the plate, if we only have a bread game object, a bread icon will appear on top of it. And if I add, for example, a meat patty, that meat patty icon will be added. Same with cheese, cheese slices, tomato slices, and lettuce slices. This progress bar UI class, it's basically a visualization progress using a flippy UI bar. It uses the events from iHasProgress, and it either hides or shows itself based on the progress state. This base counter class is an abstract base class for all types of counters. It's implementing shared functionality, for example, holding kitchen objects, and it also defines interaction methods and object management behaviors for counters. This container counter class, it allows players to spawn specific kitchen objects when interacting with them, and as seen right here, when doing so, it triggers an event when an item is taken. This cutting counter class processes cutting actions for valid ingredients, those being tomatoes, cheese blocks, and lettuces, and it tracks their progress. It emits events for both progress and cutting, and replaces certain objects, which I just mentioned, when the cutting process is completed. This delivery counter class handles delivering completed plates to the delivery manager. Right here, it validates that the player is holding the plate, and when the player sends off the plate that the player is holding gets destroyed. Right here. This plates counter class spawns plates over time up to a maximum of 4. It allows the player to pick them up, and it uses events to notify when plates are spawned or removed by the player. This stove counter class manages frying and burning states for food with a finite state machine. It tracks timers, updates progress, and transitions between the idle, frying, fried, and burned states. This trash counter class allows players to get rid of any kitchen objects they don't want. This delivery manager class, it's basically a system that spawns recipes over time with a maximum of 4 recipes, and it validates plates that are delivered to them. This kitchen object parent class is an interface defining how objects can hold and manage instances of kitchen objects. It's used by the player and counters. This plate kitchen object class, it basically represents a plate that can hold multiple ingredients that are validated. To make the burger, it has to have cheese slices, tomato slices, lettuce slices, all of that can be on one plate. It cannot be, like, for example, a whole tomato, a cheese block, and a whole lettuce. That can't be it. It also fires events when the ingredients are added. Okay, I am right here at the editor. Let's see what I can do right here. Okay, so we got cheeseburgers. Put it right there. Grab a plate. Okay, the icon started working, so that is good. Perfect. Grab the cheese right now. Okay, there we go. And right, nice. Okay, so that's been Tutorials Project 4. Thank you for watching.